2 games were so quick, which is super exciting. Guys, W for a 3rd game in a segment. We take those.
Wow, and it's only the no move. We've got, plenty more action, hopefully. Kratsooo taking the moving game, that's, I don't think, a surprise to anyone.
Agreed.
Excellent moving player. So
he is currently flawlessing Gingey as well.
This is a very different area. Is his pin there? Where's his pin? Okay, he wasn't Java. Okay. Just Jakarta.
They are just near each other. Gingey's wearing the classic Gingey jacket right now. I love to see it. That's the one he wore when he trekked all the way from Los Angeles to Stockholm on foot. If anybody watched the Road to World Cup series. Got round 5 here, 3 times damage. Kratsooo still flawlessing. Gingey a little bit behind here. Not too far behind, though. Could be anybody's game. Kratsooo considering a little swimming by the looks of it. Gingey far north Finland.
Yeah, I don't mind the north guess. A lot of the trees are quite short, which usually indicates more north. But Kratsooo is decently far south, although he seems to be moving a bit more north now.
Yeah, oh, he's committing Finland now. Kratsooo deciding to dip out of the water, come onto the land. Gingey farther north, though, and I like how far north he is, because as you were saying, with the trees being shorter like that.
Yep.
We're running out of time here on this round. Only 3 seconds to go. Who will be closer? Gingey locks, and it's right in between them. Gingey slightly closer. That's going to break Kratsoo's flawless. Possibly good for the mental, but not too much to write home about as we go on to the next round.
Gingey is the one under pressure here. He knows he has to win if he wants to take it to the NMPZ. Kratsooo, such a strong moving player, and also a no moving player. Hard to take any games off of him, but Gingey knows he's good enough to pull it off.
He definitely is. Both players sort of close to each other in Thailand here. Sort of just clicking middle. They're not seeing much. They're trying to find anything they can, but there's really not much to go off of. It's just going to be a vibe guess here.
Yep. Gingey is pretty far north right now, which is interesting because the landscape is fairly flat from what we can see, but doesn't mean it can't be north. But yeah, Kratsooo going into more safe middle Thailand guess. Yep.
Yeah, and it is just middle. I like your call out about the north being much more mountainous there, so with it being so flat, a central guess definitely pays off well for Kratsooo.
Yep, it works every time until it ends up being max north, and you're like, wait a second.
Yeah, exactly.
Where'd the mountains go?
Both players quick zoom Peru.
Kratsooo switched to Colombia. Gingey sticking with Peru. I'm not sure here. I mean, this is really tricky. I could see either country here.
I could too. This is a difficult one.
Car black? I don't know if that helps. I'm not
Regardless,
too good with car colors, but
4 times damage.
This will end the game unless it's like North Peru. I think this probably ends the game either way.
I think so. Let's see where it is. Gingey on it!
Beautiful guess from Gingey. Wow.
What an amazing guess to take him to the NMPZ game. He evens it up. Chat, we get an NMPZ to end the day. Where's the hype, guys? I need some hype in the chat for this. Let's lock in NMPZ Kratsooo versus Gingey.
I have no idea how this one's going to go. I mean, again, both of these players so strong in all modes. I think this one really is just going to come. It's going to come down to the rounds that we get. Who can lock in a little bit more than the other?
Yeah, we'll see. Wow, quick US zoom. Oklahoma from Gingey.
US, wow. I might have thought Europe on this, but no, okay, yeah. I trust them more than I trust myself. He's switching his pin between the continents. Kratsoo's not sure either.
Oh my.
They're all over the place right now.
Gingey in southern Alabama now. Kratsooo considering Europe. We could see different continents, but no multis yet.
The round won't end the game no matter what happens, but we could see a major amount of damage.
Is Kratsooo zooming in on Indonesia right now?
Yeah, he's in Sulawesi. Oh my goodness. It's anyone's guess.
Okay, no, they're both US. They're both US. Pins are both in US and
how similar their guesses are after all of that deliberation.
Yeah, and they end up being like right there next to each other. It is northern Florida. Gingey a little closer. Only 311 points after all of that.
They were in Europe, they were in Indonesia, and then they ended up basically in the same place. And it was a good guess, too. I mean, even getting that is US is really hard to do. That was a super tough round. Speaking of tough rounds.
Speaking of tough rounds, we're on round 2 now. It seems to be possibly... we have a Brazil guess from Gingey, but he also debated Mexico. Kratsooo going Brazil as well. I do like Brazil. The dirt's pretty like brown though compared to some common Brazilian like roads and dirt that you would consider. So now Gingey opting to go back towards Mexico. Brazil would be a little redder in the dirt, if redder is even a word.
Yeah, redder's a word.
We'll call it a word. We'll just call it a word and
it's a word. Give yourself more credit.
Yeah. Seems that Kratsoo's gonna commit here, Brazil. Gingey considered Brazil a bunch, but is still in Mex. The time runs down. They are in opposite countries. They're both considering both of the options. And it ends up being Mexico for Gingey.
It's not enough, though.
It's not enough to win the game, but that is a serious hit to Kratsooo, both health-wise and for the mental.
What a crazy round. You're right. The soil wasn't that red. But it's interesting that it was West Coast because we had sugarcane, so I would have guessed that it was closer to where Gingey was. But the fact that he was a little off within the country is what kept Kratsooo alive here.
Yeah, we go to round 3 now. Now we're on 2 times. It feels like we're so much farther into the NMBZ game, how much excitement there's been. But we're only on round 3. 2 times damage. They're both pretty close to each other. Coastal Croatia makes the most sense here from the look of this round.
This won't end the game either way, but we could see a little bit of damage. Oh my goodness.
Gingey. Are we at the Gingey Masterclass now? The Gingey NMPZ Masterclass? What's going on?
What a guess. He got the island. There are so many islands, and he's on the right one.
He's on the right one. Quick zoom from Gingey right away near... Oh, is he going to swim? Is he going to do a little swimming?
Might just do the Denmark water hedge.
Ooh. Is that a Bornholm from Kratsooo? Did I see him zoom into that island?
He is in Bornholm. I wonder if it's because he sees... I don't know if there's a... Like, maybe the roof of that house maybe is more Bornholm, or if he sees some sort of other specific clue, but he is currently in Bornholm.
Maybe he just wants to commit for the fun of it.
Ugh. Yeah, maybe, although that could... I mean, if it's not Bornholm, it costs him the game, probably, if it's mainland Denmark.
Yeah.
That's a
he wouldn't actually just do it for the fun. He's gonna go more toward the mainland, near Copenhagen. They're both right there, right next to each other.
I think given the score right now, I think this is a smarter guess from Kratsooo to stay on the mainland.
I agree.
He's still thinking about moving back.
Thinking about it.
Yep.
It is good he stayed. Kratsooo.
I think if he goes Bornholm, he loses there.
Yeah, I think so as well. That's very smart of him to not do the commit. Just in case.
And also, there's no way he's going to win either. I mean, even if it is Bornholm when he goes Bornholm, I mean, Gingey's on 6,000 health, so it's just not a risk that's worth taking for him there.
We go to round 5 here, 3 times damage in Germany by the looks of it. They're both pretty central. You see Gingey's doing the cheat code I told you guys about, where you just click on the name of the country. So therefore he's going to 5k, of course, obviously.
That is how it works.
That is how it works. We'll see. They both are pretty close to each other, regardless of my shenanigans. Yeah, both right there, pretty central. Nothing too crazy here.
It's possible Gingey could win, I'm not sure. It's not going to do it, I don't think.
He is closer, but yeah, not going to win him the game, but deal a decent bit of damage to Kratsooo. Kratsooo now in the red, 700 even. To Gingey's 5,700.
Yeah, And not what Kratsooo wants to see. I mean, he wants larger countries, given he's down by so much. But this is going to be Sweden. We have these short dashed outer lines, which are very, very commonly seen in Sweden. And they're shorter than the ones you see in Norway. So both players are going to know the country here. But it comes down to the region guess. Unless it's Estonia, which it looks like neither one is considering it. But you can get... Oh, Kratsooo maybe is considering it.
And they do have those
get lines like this in Estonia, so it's not impossible. I think.
I do like the southern Sweden vibe, though. I like that guess quite a bit. They both lock it in. Gingey a little closer again. I don't know if that's going to be enough to win him the game. It won't be. But it's not good for Kratsooo. You see a big heavy sigh from Kratsooo. He is not in a good position right now.
Hanging on by a thread, but this is the type of round that he wants. Large country. I guess Colombia. Yeah, I was thinking it might be Brazil, but it probably is Colombia, which is still decent for Kratsooo, but not as good as something like Brazil or Russia or the US.
Yeah, Gingey considering Brazil, possibly. Looks like he zoomed over there and looked back in at the round, but he seems more confident in Colombia. I do like that. Kratsooo has not opened the map yet. We don't know exactly what he's thinking, where his brain is at. He's closing his eyes and giving it a second look. Is that a new tactic? You're in an NPC game, you're questioning yourself, and then you cover your eyes to reset and then look again?
They both look pretty confused. I don't know if they're trying to see the pole or something, but they are deep in thought. Neither of them is sure. Gingey is heavily considering Brazil.
Does Kratsooo have a guess down yet? He doesn't. He goes Brazil. They
Gingey
both go
switched to
Brazil.
What is happening? it's Panama.
Panama. Neither of them get it. That's 56 damage to Gingey. Imagine if Gingey had stayed Colombia, though. He would have won.
Oh, yeah. Easily.
That is insane. We're on round 8, 4.5 times damage right now. This has been a wild NMPZ game.
Panama. Man, it makes so much sense, too, in hindsight, actually, thinking about it now.
Right, it does.
It's so easy to forget about Panama, though.
Yeah, definitely, because a lot of people rely on things like the Google car meta. So without that, it can be quite hard. Mexico here, both players pretty close to each other. Are they in the same state? I didn't see that. No.
This is a little more south than Aguascalientes. Yeah.
Gingey just needs to be slightly closer here. Mexico, definitely a big enough country that just being closer with only 455 health and 4.5 times damage. This could be the game, or Kratsooo stays alive.
Gingey, worth noting, is a very, very good Mexico player.
Yes, one of the best. Ooh. But Kratsooo is closer.
It's pretty big.
4.5 times damage. That's a pretty big hit to Gingey. It could be anyone's game now. We go to round 9. The multi is about to be 5 times damage. Gingey with such quick zooms. Kratsooo to follow. Zooming in Thailand. Gingey far north near Laos.
I agree.
Nope.
Yeah.
He switches to Bangkok.
White car, red soil, flat. Works for this sort of Isan region of Thailand and also the area north of Bangkok.
Both players seem to be kind of just north of Bangkok now. We'll see if they keep it there or not. Nope. Gingey.
She's switching over to Isan. Kratsooo staying in Bangkok. This could be big. I think it would probably be enough for either player if they end up close.
We'll see. Kratsooo zooming out and looking at the whole world really quickly.
Gingey moving a little closer. A little more west. And Kratsooo moving a little more east. Now I think they're in really similar areas.
They're like on top of each other. No. Kratsoo's
around.
still moving to the last second. And he's closer. I don't think that's going to be enough to win in the game, but it's going to take us to round 10, our final round. 5.5 times damage. What are we looking at? Wow, we are looking at Argentina. Big country, big points, Jake.
Yeah, La Pampa road angle, maybe? Gingey and La Pampa province, you get a lot of sort of north-south grids in La Pampa, and this road is straight north-south, so I understand Gingey's guess for sure. But Argentina is a huge country, so it pretty much whoever's closer is very likely going to win here.
This is insane. It all comes down to this, everybody. Strap in your seatbelts. Lock in.
Both in La Pampa now.
Is it. They're both in La Pampa with 15 seconds on the
Kratsooo
clock.
up in San Luis.
He
Oh
moves
my
to
gosh.
San Luis. That's a big difference. Big of
He's gonna
enough
switch
of
back. He's thinking
Oh.
about it. I don't know.
big enough difference to end it out. The timer runs out.
And it's
And Kratsoo's closer.
It's gotta be enough. It is
That's
huge.
Gotta be enough
Look
points.
at the reaction.
Celebration from Kratsooo. Wow. I mean, to start that NMPC game with basically a Gingey masterclass and Kratsooo to take it back in the end. Look at the relief on his face there on the cam.
What a comeback.
I mean,
I mean,
what
he
a
was on,
way
what,
for
400
that.
health with probably round 4 or 5. He was on about 400 health, and he he just stuck with it the entire time.